What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Kraven.
What you craving?
What you craving?
What you craving?
Yeah. The Hunt. Anyways, don't forget to just sit back, relax, and turn it to 11.
Alright, y'all, welcome back. We're going to be talking today about Kraven the Hunter, starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Russell Crowe, and Ariana DeBose. Is that how you say her last name? DeBose.
Sounds right.
Sounds right. Yeah, it sounds a little bit
French
on the nose, so to speak. It is the origin story of Sir Kraven and his estranged family. I mean, can you say that's basically the whole movie right there? I would say I just kind of explained what it's his origin story of who he is as a person, as a character in this world. His dad, played by Russell Crowe, is a hunter. He is all about, that aggressiveness, that aggressive parenting where, you have to be the alpha. You're the man. You're the one that stands above everyone else. In the wild or in the jungle and in the streets, or I guess in his case, in the family business. And you get to see how this young man turns into Kraven the Hunter extraordinaire. Holy smokes, never knew this guy existed before. And yeah, Aaron Taylor-Johnson did a great job with this character, as far as, because he was in Kick-Ass as a hero, and he also played, what's Wanda's brother's name? Quicksilver. Yes, I was gonna say Silver Surfer, but that's not him. I was like, he's already in the Marvel universe. Kraven is in the Marvel universe, and he is also a character from the Spider-Man series, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's like kind of how we got into this whole thing. So what are some of the things that we liked? We didn't like. I want to say for the things that I did like was the way that Kraven moves, all of the I guess stunts that it was, except for like the final stunts, which is more CGI stuff.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, a lot of it was kind of cool. A lot of the fighting was cool. A lot of how just it could have been a lot better as far as the actions went for him. But I mean, the idea was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is always cool.
The idea is cool.
Yeah,
it has to be cool.
It's just the execution.
Exactly.
Execution. Jeez. I can't even. I don't.
So is that a wrap, guys? Should we go to the outro?
All right, this is the wrap.
No, but I don't know about you, but I don't know much about Kraven. I didn't know much about Kraven. I mean, you probably did because you're a huge Spider-Man.
So I'm embarrassed to say that I also didn't know much about Kraven. Actually, I didn't know enough about Kraven that when I saw the trailer for Kraven, I was like, oh, they're coming out with a Sabretooth movie?
It's his long-lost cousin, guys.
I was like, oh, it's Sabretooth. And it said Kraven the Hunter. I'm like, who is that?
Maybe he's hunting Sabretooth.
Maybe he is.
Why was Aaron Taylor-Johnson chosen to play him when he was already someone in the Marvel universe?
Sony.
Is it because
it's Sony?
It's Sony.
Is it because he died?
That's also true.
It's because he died. Because he's gone.
He's never come back.
Yeah, and so is Scarlet Witch. She's gone as well. So,
as far as we know.
But technically she should if he's going to be in the MCU at all.
It's Sony.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this movie has.
I don't think it has anything to do with the MCU. To be honest.
it really doesn't.
It's in the same universe as Venom. Same universe as, was it Morbius?
Morbius, yeah.
Morbius.
It is, yeah. So that's
and the last thing that just came out from them. Well, actually, other than Venom. Madam Web.
Oh, that's right. Madam Web.
Madam Web.
Yeah, they're building like a whole Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's done already.
Except, this is the last movie of the thing.
It was the last installment.
Yeah, and they're done. They're not doing anything else. So if you've watched this movie, which I'm pretty sure you did because it's we're in February and the movie came out in like December or whatever. If you watched this movie, you did it for no reason, like we did, because it. Oh, I had a cookie on my shirt.
Next.
Because this is the last installment. They're not doing anything else. That's partially why I think that they didn't have any end credits for this movie. Mm-hmm. Because it's.
I even.
But like I said, like Randolph was saying earlier, I didn't know who Kraven was. Although when I looked him up, comic book wise, I'm like, oh, I know who that character is. I just forgot that was Kraven, which then takes me to what you said, which is why is Aaron Taylor-Johnson playing him? When true, what you said, he's also Quicksilver.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like he wasn't really wasn't Kraven. If you see Kraven from the comic book, I see more of the guy who played the Punisher in the Daredevil, right? I can see him playing Kraven.
John Bernthal?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I can see him being a better Kraven because he's got like that black hair. He can slick it back. He's a little bit older. Kraven is an older person.
Yeah, he
right?
was.
And this is an origin story. I get that. I get that. But still, I'm like, he could have. I think he fits the build better than Aaron. Although no hate against Aaron. I thought he did a great job.
He's pretty good at Bullet Train, you know.
Yeah. As an actor, Aaron is great. I enjoy him in a lot of things. Bullet Train being one of them, Kick-Ass being another. You know, those are all fantastic movies that he's been in, and I'm just like, I'm a fan, bro. But aesthetically, he doesn't fit the role, the vision of who Kraven is. Right. Which is also funny that he's a Russian character. But he was raised in America and so had an American accent. It's like, so are you Russian or not? I was like, where are we going with this, buddy?
Wait, I thought they were in England.
The family moved to England, but they were going to school in America.
Oh, that's right.
Then they went back to England at the end because then he told Russell Crowe's the dad, right? He said, "You are staying back. You're coming back to America. I mean, to England because America is making you soft or whatever that is."
Yeah. And the mom,
Russian is horrible.
And the mom just died, right? I believe.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that because when what's his name? When Rhino was given information about him. I think we're gonna go into Rhino pretty soon. But Rhino was given information, so he got his facial recognition, and he was born in a place called Volgograd or something like that.
And that's the country that he's supposed to be from, not Russia.
That's where he was born. Oh. Now get this: who else was born in Volgograd?
I don't know. I just learned about
Scarlet Witch.
The chameleon.
That is also probably true.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But also Scarlet Witch. Oh my God! Why keep saying Scarlet Witch? Black Widow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That makes sense. MCU.
Just trying to make a connection with MCU.
Right. Which would never happen.
It's not going to. I just wanted to point that out.
I didn't realize that this was the last installment, but then I think I did realize it before we watched it.
Well, we talked about this during Captain America, right? Yeah. All these different characters being bought by different people, and they're associated like enemies or bad guys or whatever. And then it's like, but they can't cross with each other because of money issues, rights issues, and all that. And you just it's like it's cool that him and Scarlet Witch, you said, right? No,
Black Widow.
Black Widow. You guys said and Black Widow from the same country, but at the same time, they're never from the same country because they don't exist in the same world, right? They're completely
they exist in the same area, but in just different frequencies.
Right. In a parallel universe, like I mentioned in the other movie.
The parallel universe, guys.
But that's always a disappointing situation.
Let's talk about Calypso.
Who's that?
She was the girl that gave him the powers, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Ariana DeBose?
Yeah.
DeBose?
I just watched her in Love Hurts, the Ki Wan movie.
I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah, it just came out on Valentine's Day. And she was in there. And I was like, where did I see her? It was in Kraven. I forgot. So Calypso, so her character, right, should have been a little bit... I don't know who she is in the comics. I mean, I barely figured out who Kraven was. I just feel like she should have been added a lot more, a little bit...
more depth?
Yeah, they should have gave her more depth because, like, it had to. I mean, okay, so there was a little serum, or what do you want to call it? Like the family heirloom.
Yeah, the potion.
The potion, thank you.
The potion.
So a little potion that gave Kraven his powers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so she's like a witch doctor, or at least the grandma was.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. And then you see her now grown up, you know, now that they're both, you know, both kids are grown up, you see that she doesn't really practice it. You don't, you know, she's more actually working with politics now. And I'm like,
she's a lawyer, isn't she?
Yeah. But she was working directly with the governor, or not governor, the prime minister.
Was she?
I think so. I forget who she was working with. It was in politics, and she wanted to do good.
Yeah.
But you know, nothing was working. And then all of a sudden, you know, Kraven shows up, and she's like, "I know you. You're that boy. You're that boy." Like the way that they made it seem like they flirted at one point. And they never did. She saw him mauled on the ground. You know, she's like, "Oh, here's some potion, so you can get fine." She's like, "Hi."
It's because Kraven came back with this business card. I mean, her tarot card, or what kind of card was it?
Yeah, it was a tarot card.
Tarot card. Yeah. Like, I know you.
She's like, "Hey, boo." That's like a serendipity scene. If you guys ever watched the romantic comedy movie Serendipity, she, like, you know, put the number on top of the card and hit boom, and he found her. Of course he's gonna find it because he's a hunter, and if he's craving you, he's hunting you. Pause now. And her character was kind of lightly just thrown in there. You know, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is how he got his powers. It was just so conveniently done. I felt like there wasn't really a lot to her, but she was a cool character. She cute, you know. But who is she? Like, it was the grandma. There's nothing with the grandma. Like, we didn't get like a backstory of where the grandma's from. Yeah. You know, I was thinking of the DC girl from the Legends of Tomorrow. You know, the one that touches the necklace and she can become different animals.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking of Vixen, I was thinking of her, but I was like, wait, no, this is Marvel. I was like, is there another one? It kept taking me back to Storm and Wakanda. And I was like, no, they don't have that power. I was like, there's only a panther and then storms. You know, it's just like, who was the one with the animals? And I was like, Beast Boy. No, that's DC. So I was just like, fighting in my head, like, who exactly is Calypso to Kraven? And I mean, later on, you see that he brings her back. He brings her back to his place. Nothing happens, of course, but you know, still, like, who is she? Like, why is she important? It's just because she is the source of his power. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna need more just in case. I was like, you sure? I was like, you seem fine for the past what was the year jump? Was it like 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a pretty big jump.
Only 10 years.
Was it 10 years?
I think so.
Yeah, because there was like 16.
Oh, was he?
Maybe
you're right. Maybe you're right.
I believe so.
Yeah, you could be right. I thought he was definitely old. Like, I thought he was older. I thought like maybe 15 years had passed. But I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was nowhere near in his 30s.
I literally just watched this movie like last week, and you would think I remember it more than I do. But apparently that's how significant it was to me.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's fair enough.
What?
So Calypso was one of the characters that I was just like, I actually didn't mind her, but it was just kind of, it felt forced. It felt like she was kind of written badly in that part.
She was the romantic interest without ever being the romantic interest.
Right.
Like, oh, wait, we got to put a girl in here for him to fall in love with. And then they wrote the whole script for this. And then at the end of recording, they're like, and scene, that's the last scene, everybody. You know what I just realized? We forgot to put the love parts in in this movie.
Can you imagine in the trailers? Like, Aaron, buddy, all right, you're going to be falling in love with Ariana DeBose, right? I think that's how you say her name. Anyway, you guys are going to fall in love. Probably a little bit. You guys going to have a kiss scene. He's probably excited. Films it. Waiting for the kiss scene. No kiss scene.
Nope. You know who he got really intimate with? That lion. That mold. That's the closest he got to anybody.
He got super close.
He got mauled.
And so, oh my goodness. The dad, not the dad, the brother The chameleon. Dude, he was kind of cool with the changing of voices.
Come on.
And I was just like, dude, you have a great career in voice acting. I mean, I was like, you can use your dad's connection to get into the films, and you're set.
Yeah.
You know? But obviously, he wanted more blood money, like his brethren.
Yeah,
I'm terrible.
He wanted more.
Yours is better than mine. 100%.
He wanted more than Harry Styles and Tony Bennett and Black Sabbath. So you know.
So, were there any Easter eggs?
You guys know? Obviously, you guys know who Rhino is. So Rhino in the movie, how did he get his powers? Like, how did he get all that? Like,
oh yeah, he got it from I forgot where, but it was during the first excursion that he took that's when they first met the lion or whatever. But I guess he was doing like some kind of experiments on these animals, and he tried to kind of recreate some kind of serum, I want to say.
Yeah, so instead he got some kind of health condition to where his if he didn't get that serum that he's pumping, almost like insulin, if he didn't get that serum, if he just let himself go, he would just get all this very rugged, gray psoriasis or whatever. And it hurts because it's painful, he says. But he turns essentially into Rhino.
Yeah.
So that's the movie. On the other hand, in the comic books, he volunteers as a Russian mob specialist or mobster or whatever. He volunteers to become Rhino. Like, he takes the serum to become that suit. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's crazy in comparison. In the movie, he's trying to avoid it by giving himself insulin, or not insulin, but himself the serum to not turn into that.
Right.
So, they made his character so weak in that regard because of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's also interesting. Like, Rhino in the comics and in the cartoon, he's kind of like just an idiot. You know, he's all bronze, no brains.
Yeah.
You know, he's always charging and stuff. But in this, he's like this smart guy who's literally planning this entire kidnapping of Kraven's brother and all that. And you're just like, what? This is not the same Rhino. By the way, just want to say, hated the Rhino CG situation. Yeah. I'm like, what
is going on?
What is wrong with your costume? Which is another thing right.
What's wrong with your skin, sir?
Yeah, what's wrong with this?
You need some crib on that?
There's some gray going on over here.
A little ashy over there.
He definitely needed that lotion.
Yeah. 100%. Can you imagine if he had friends like around his circle, just like dogging on him?
You need a pump of that, bro.
No, I don't know. I did not like the way he looked as Rhino. I thought that was super. It was really bad. Although I will say, like, the entire CGI for the most part was kind of garbage. Like,
kinda. It was absolutely
okay. I'm glad. I was trying to be nice.
Was trash.
I was trying to be nice. The lion was probably the best part of the CGI in that.
Yes, it was almost as if it was real.
Yeah. the water buffaloes, which I'm like,
don't ever. Oh,
I was like, wait,
are we already on this part of the segment of the negatives?
Just because of the Rhino, which was super confusing because he's in Siberia or wherever the heck he is, and I'm like, there are water buffaloes in Siberia? I'm so confused. Aren't these African water buffaloes? Maybe I don't know. I mean, I know a lot about animals, but maybe I didn't know there were water buffaloes in freaking Siberia. Like, I know there are wolves.
Are you sure they're in Siberia?
It's like Siberia-isk.
It's in the area.
In that northern part of the world.
Siberia.
It's his mom's land.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. That CGI was bad. I think that one of the few CGIs that I actually liked is when he's escaping the prison. And he's on all fours, and he's like I was like, okay, that was pretty cool.
That was a cool CGI,
because he was, that was probably one of the better scenes. The fighting scenes were pretty decent too. I liked the prison scene where he fought the people in the prison, and then the scene after when they're chasing him in the forest, and he's like smashes the bear trap on the guy's face, and
those
scenes were pretty dope. I thought those were really good fighting scenes.
You know why he was 0864, his prison number?
No,
0864.
So that's a callback to when he was first introduced into the Spider-Man comics. So in August 1964, I think it was issue 15, is when Kraven comes into the comic books.
That's dope.
15, dude. How do we not know about Kraven? And he comes out in the 15th issue of Spider-Man.
Because you know why? Because there are so many better villains. Which brings me to another thing. Oh my gosh. I can't.
See the heat? See the heat?
I know. Here we go again.
It's coming off his chest.
What?
You need some gamma ray pills or what?
What is up with? Is Sony just allergic to villains? Is that what it is? Is that where we're going?
Venom. Good question.
Venom is a villain.
How is it? How are they allergic to a villain?
No,
he's an anti-villain.
No, he's not. He's not an anti-hero.
He's a villain.
No, I said anti-villain.
What does that even mean?
So an anti-hero is like a villain that is a hero, right? The anti-villain is someone who is a villain
who wants to be a hero.
Frick. I know this answer. Oh, give me a second.
Go up.
Yeah.
In my opinion, growing up in the 90s, watching Spider-Man, freaking Venom is a villain. Not an anti-hero / anti-villain. He is just villain. He is trying to kill people, right? And on top, wait. I get
yeah.
And freaking Kraven is also a villain, not some humanitarian trying to save animals situation here. He's going after Spider-Man, wanting to kill him. You know, he's trying to. The greatest hunt for him is Spider-Man. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Why are we scared of having a bad guy? We can. Don't you want to make a movie where we hate the main character? Wouldn't that be great? Morbius is a bad guy. He wasn't really a bad guy in this.
Yeah, he was like...
Okay, so I looked it up. I was wrong. He has become an anti-hero, but he is originally a supervillain, Venom.
Right.
Kraven is actually an anti-villain. He has someone with good intentions, but has questionable ways getting to it.
And that's true.
Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
He doesn't have good intentions.
Exactly.
So he can't be. No.
But he's saying
anti-villains.
It's someone who uses evil means for the greater good. Like they're willing to kill a whole orphanage of kids if it means that it saves a lot more people.
Yeah, like the guy from Suicide Squad. John Cena played him.
Oh, Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Yeah, he is an anti-villain.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
And I can see that, and I know that like they kind of throw around what he is, but still bad guy.
Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. I think. Or no.
Oh.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. I think that was it.
He was just blatantly honest.
Yeah. Well, he had questionable means for sure.
Okay, so
you need people like me on the line. Sorry.
Bringing it back to Venom, didn't Venom team up with Spider-Man?
A bunch of times, yes.
Yeah. Okay, why?
Because because probably of Eddie Brock's side, I think, but I don't remember why. He did in the video game Spider-Man. Do you guys remember that on PlayStation? Fun game, I loved it.
Because the enemy of your enemy is my friend. They were going up against Carnage.
Right. Yeah.
So I think.
But does that make you a good guy? Because
they don't call. He's not essentially a villain at that point. Because you're working with the good guys, so you're guilty by association.
But true, okay. With that thought, in the crossover of DC and Marvel, I think this is one of my funniest. I enjoy this a lot.
Yeah.
When the Joker bumps into Red Skull, and he finds out that the Red Skull is a Nazi, he punches him in his face and he says, "I may be evil, but I'm still an American." You know, it's like it's that kind of thing. It's like he's still bad. He just doesn't. He doesn't agree with it. It's like I think there's a you could team up with people you're against in most cases if it means that it's for your own, especially for your own good.
Yeah.
I mean, Venom, of course, is going to try to save his life.
Yes,
against Carnage.
He's doing whatever he believes in is right. So what does that make him?
He's an anti. Right now, he's an anti-hero.
So but
he's originally a supervillain.
So bringing it back into Kraven, not many people know who Kraven is.
Yeah.
So I think they they just did whatever with this movie because he knows what Kraven is.
And he was the last one.
That's actually a good way to look at it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they don't know what to do with him. Just give him a movie.
Do whatever. So let's just give him an origin story. You guys decide if he's a good guy or bad guy.
I have an Easter egg thing, I believe. I don't know if you brought it up yet. I think it's an Easter egg, or at least a big fun coincidence. Mm-hmm. What did Kraven fear the most?
Spiders.
which was cool. You thought that was cool?
I thought that was Easter egg.
But no, it definitely is.
So you're thinking it's Spider-Man, or maybe become Madam Web, you know, like.
No. It was.
Oh, dang! I didn't think of that.
You know, I was watching a person who was talking about the downfall of Kraven, and I was like, because I wanted to see what other people were saying, because I'm like, is this movie just bad for me or is it bad for everybody? Mm-hmm. And then how bad, right? And he made a comment about the spiderweb. Like the last movies have all been talking about Spider-Man without talking about Spider-Man, because they can't talk about Spider-Man because Spider-Man is part of the MCU and all this stuff. So while it's over there, Sony can't really do anything with them. So they kind of have like these small like plugins. Kraven being scared of spiders, you know, Venom going to the alternate universe without ever even meeting Spider-Man. I don't even know why he even went to the alternate universe to begin with. Because
he was a good Venom.
No. But when he blipped from the second Venom movie, he blipped into the universe that Spider-Man was in,
Earth 616.
And we assumed, oh, cool, Venom is finally gonna be Spider-Man, and then Venom 3 came out and just blipped back to his own world. Yeah, which I'm assuming something just fell through, and they're like, no, we're not gonna do a crossover of them.
I mean, Venom 3, he still ends up in New York.
Right.
And the symbiote is still alive.
Yeah.
And who else is in New York?
Spider-Man.
And
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But that's a different Spider-Man. That's a different universe. Sorry.
So, no, but the Doctor Strange though. Remember from the last time?
Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So he may.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But here's the thing:
is his Spider-Man Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
That's what I was gonna say. Or
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. Ooh.
No. Okay.
That's a crazy question right there.
The Amazing Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield, was it
Andrew
Sony?
Garfield? Yes.
Was it Sony?
Yes. So it'd be Andrew Garfield would be his Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick. Too bad they're not going to continue.
Yeah.
Imagine Tobey Maguire comes out of nowhere.
And Tobey Maguire was part of Fox.
Yeah.
He was part of Fox.
But he already has a Venom anyway.
He does. Yeah, that's also true.
So it'll be Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
And if you think about it, like the way it was filmed is very much the same kind of
the darkness
theme to it.
And Andrew Garfield has killed people. Yeah, and Spider-Man has killed people.
Okay, not on purpose, man. He was trying to save her life. Like we don't have.
She died not because of him. She died because of
not MJ.
He killed people in his villains. He killed villains. And if they do bring back Andrew Garfield's one, they could do the I think, what is it called? The black suit? The black suit?
Venom? The Venom Spider-Man?
No. The black suit, I forget the third term, but it's when he scares Kingpin. It's like someone gets hurt or Aunt May.
What is it?
Aunt May gets hurt. Have you guys not heard of that?
Yeah. When
it was the black suit something, and it's when Kingpin is in the prison and Spider-Man takes his mask off.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it's Peter. Yeah. And he is pummeling.
I remember that.
And he's pummeling him and he says that I will discharge all of my web fluid into your throat, and then you won't survive. And he said, should anybody touch my family, anyone, I'm coming after only you.
Dang.
I remember that.
So he made Kingpin make sure that no one touches his aunt, essentially making Kingpin her security guard.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And I can see Andrew Garfield doing that because of the darkness. But that's just a little plug, I think.
And
Kraven has gotten to this.
I was just gonna say, and that's how important Kraven is. That we went to a completely different story.
Anyways, back to Kraven, guys.
The sad part is, before we go back to Kraven, the sad part is that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because Sony's cut it. They know that they suck at this, which is crazy because they did great jobs with Spider-Man, but all their spin-offs. Maybe because they're supposed to be villains.
Maybe just make the money right. I don't know. I feel like...
Speaking of villains, Foreigner?
Who the flip is Foreigner? What was your purpose?
Who is that guy? Anyways, I did a little bit of research on him.
That guy was cool, though. I mean, his power was cool.
No, he's cool. Yeah. But it was kind of... Go on.
3, 2, 1. Anyways, Foreigner.
He reminds me of Brooke from One Piece. You've already been cut. That's
Oops, you're done already.
That's what I expected after, but yeah.
Yeah, he apparently in the comic books they ripped him straight from the comic books. So whatever his powers were in that movie, it was exactly in the comic books. But did you notice that he mentioned the Hunter? That's why he's going to be hunted. So the Hunter apparently, who is also Punisher's rival, arch nemesis, I believe. So the Hunter dies by the hands of Kraven, which is why he teams up with Rhino to kill Kraven. And Hunter is
Foreigner teams up
with to get Kraven. Apparently, the Hunter. I don't know if you saw in the newspaper. Oh yeah, Daily Bugle. Woo. Spider-Man. Not, I guess. Anyways, it was something. Who is it? Was it something versus the Hunter or something like that? So it may not be the Hunter, so to say, but the Hunter was the mentor of the Foreigner, which is why Foreigner was getting after Kraven.
Okay. That I totally missed that connection because I was just like, "What was your purpose, bro?" I mean, your character is really cool, and they could. It's like you know what this movie reminds me of? The Flash. The
Flash movie?
The Flashpoint. Yeah. It's like they know that there's nothing coming after
the
this.
Ezra Miller one, right?
Yeah, the Ezra Miller one. It's like that there's nothing coming after this, so it's kind of like pointless, and they're just kind of they're like, oh, let's throw as many things to this as possible.
Oh, Nick Cage,
yeah, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's a bummer because they could have done some great stuff with the Foreigner. I mean, his character was sick.
Pretty dope.
His character was good, but at the same time, it's like, do you really fit this plot?
Right.
I mean, did anybody really fit this plot? But
same with the chameleon.
I don't think nobody got it because you have to read more into Foreigner's backstory.
Yeah.
Hunter was his mentor. He got assassinated by Kraven. Boom. That's why he's coming after him. But that wasn't really explained really well.
Definitely wasn't. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because in the Daily Bugle it says, I forgot what it says. I think it says the hunted versus the hunter or something like that. But you notice that the Hunter it was italicized. So it was an actual name.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. I didn't see that. See, I get so immersed in the movie that I forget that there are things like Easter eggs in it. Because if I watch it for those, I miss the movie, which makes me think I should probably watch it multiple times. No,
man, yes.
I mean, I have AMC's stubs. Yeah, so I can watch 3 movies a week for free.
But would you really want to watch Kraven 3 times?
See, I could watch Kraven, even though CGI.
The CGI was bad.
Yeah,
CGI was so bad that if you look at their mouths when they're talking, look at the grandmother's mouth when she's talking to Calypso. It doesn't even look like it's her. Like, did they not refilm the part that just refilm it?
There was a lot of dubbing problems in this movie.
Yeah, it was just like in Madam Web.
Madam Web was horrible.
Oh my goodness!
I caught more in Madam Web though than I did in this one. This one I was like, oh, there's something weird about that. But in Madam Web, I'm like, bro, your voice and your lips are super out of sync.
Yeah, it looked like deepfake.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know what's going on there. I agree.
Speaking of backstory. Who was the one that gave the chameleon the powers? Do you guys remember?
What powers? What?
So it's
to change his face.
The geneticist, right?
Yeah.
So do you guys remember his name?
No,
I don't even. I thought it was the same thing. The guy that made the serum for Rhino. Because he kind of took Rhino's business.
I kind of want to say that too because it's Miles. Okay, so Miles Warren. Chameleon mentions thick skin, horns. Well, that's because Miles Warren is also known as the Jackal in the comic books. So again, there's no context of who he was. I think that'd be pretty cool if he did show up.
I think before these movies come out, they should do like a rebranding of the comic that they came in.
Yeah.
Just to get a little taste, just a little taste, like what's next? It could possibly be this. You know what I mean? Like give a little bit of, I don't know, like a little promo.
You know what the issue is? The issue is these companies, movie companies like Sony, the producers of these things, they're just oh, you know, it'd be great. Let's just throw the name Kraven out there. All these fans are gonna come out, and they don't care about the integrity of the character or the integrity of the story that has been built through freaking decades of work. And they're like, oh yeah, everybody, you know, they're just gonna come out and watch it because you know they're fans, and they do that with a lot of movies. You know, they constantly are always, and we get disappointed every time. I don't know who's the fool. Are we the fools for constantly falling for the same trap?
Right.
Or is it them for this?
So I think adding on to what you're saying, I think the movie companies are creating films.
For money.
Not for money, but they're creating films of people or heroes or villains that not many people know about, thinking they can dig them out of the grave and make them like more popular.
That's what I suggested they do, but they did the movie for them.
I would love to believe that's the case. For me, I think it's clickbait.
Yes, and that's what I was leading into because it essentially turns into clickbait because not many know about it, and when not many people know about it is when they start to research. Oh, and let's dive into it then.
No, and that's true. I mean, I do agree. Like, because part of it is like, if you say Kraven, like I said, I thought this was a Sabretooth movie. I was like, oh snap!
Exactly.
Sabretooth? That's pretty cool. I mean, the whole like the neck thingy, the fur that here. I was like, oh, it definitely looks like Sabretooth to me, right? And I was like, oh, that's cool. They're gonna make a Sabretooth. I don't know.
Or
right?
Morbius.
But
you know?
or yeah. Another one, but it's you know, and I do agree that people they don't know who it is, and they're like, oh, this is part of the Spider universe, and people
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I want to go watch this.
Yeah,
and then you realize there's no Spider-Man in it at all except for the spiders.
Expectations are this high, and then done.
Yeah, you know? Very much.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to a lot of more kind of like him interacting with animals. It would have been cool to see him interacting with real animals, like maybe like an elephant.
He kind of did with the wolf.
Or with his freaking, because in the comics he runs around with his freaking leopard, or the
leopard,
panther, or whatever it is.
Or a lion.
Yeah, and the leopard was, oh my God. The leopard wasn't even real.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, wait, I'm confused. Why would you think it's a real leopard?
Well, I mean, no, like when it had its standalone like parts.
Oh, okay. I'm like, he's not gonna fight a real leopard.
No, like it was such a garbage fight.
It was all
and
bad.
I'm like, that's not like when the leopard was just standing there. It wasn't even a real leopard. Just like with the lion, it wasn't even a real lion. I was just like, could we not get real animals for these parts? I was just like,
can you not hire like a better CG company to make your graphics for you a little bit better?
Maybe. But I mean, like, if you're gonna put animals and have their own standalone shots, use a real one.
Like the wolves, the wolf. I mean, he just looks at him.
Oh, the one wolf.
Kind of like, oh, I'm Aquaman. I mean, I'm Aquaman on the land. I'm Landman, and look at him, and he just goes away. You know, like, oh, okay, that sets the tone. Did he do that again? No.
Yeah, that was the only time.
Wow.
Although he does communicate with, I guess he somehow communicates with the water buffaloes to attack.
True.
Right, but we don't see that. We just see the aftermath of them like ramming into the cars, right?
All I saw was just, you know, Appa being the ancestors of all those water buffaloes. Or bison.
Yep. 100%. Completely right there with you.
Oh man.
No, and I don't know. I thought it's just so many weird things. Now, to be fair, I completely think that this movie was much better than Madam Web and definitely better than Morbius. Simply because I can see all of the scenes.
Yeah, it was dark on those movies.
Morbius being the worst.
Super dark.
The fight scene, all you saw was like this. Their face is moving like this.
Lights, like, oh, there they
what's
are.
happening?
It's like
is this an anime?
It's like what Shazam did, where Shazam was like, or the bad guy was talking while they were flying in the air, but then like real life physics was in it, and he's like, I can't hear you. I was just like, I was like, how do they hear each other up there? You got wind going like 90, 100 miles per hour, and they're just like, just floating there, listening to each other. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, so it was better. It was definitely better than Morbius and Madam Web. I do think I liked Venom Last Dance more.
Oh, definitely.
Right? I thought that was better than this movie for sure.
Oh no, wait! You thought this movie or Kraven was better than?
No. Venom Last Dance was better than this movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Oh God.
Venom 1, 2, and 3 was better than Kraven.
Oh yeah.
All of the trilogy was definitely better.
Yeah.
Actually, was better than all of the other.
Oh
films.
wow.
I mean, they got 3 films.
True.
Got a trilogy for a reason, you know.
I would have loved to see a Madam Web trilogy if they did that way better, but they didn't.
True.
I mean, they didn't use Sydney Sweeney to their utmost power. They didn't use her well, but that's just a dude in me, though, guys. Just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? Dude in me. No,
and I know for sure 100% because we've talked about this before. You have a problem with no romance in a movie or show.
Yeah,
I'm sure you were like, oh yeah, things are gonna get down and nothing happens.
Because if the story if the story is lacking, at least there's like some kind of like something to look forward to. Like, are they gonna hook up, kiss, hug, maybe give a letter at the end? Like those things matter if the story sucks. But I mean, Kraven got her to his place, so I mean it's good enough for me.
Would you guys be surprised if a second movie comes out of this?
I would be super surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really care if it did or not. But I don't see it kind of the one coming. But
I'd be super surprised. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I would
what
just
part of this movie did you go and say that was a hit?
I think I would just say the only way would be if people were fans of Chameleon, because Chameleon's outro was cool in the series. I thought I read the movie. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
He turns into his white-headed self. Because did you see that?
Like a mannequin looking.
Yeah, because that's essentially what Miles Warren gives him. He gives him that type of powers to shapeshift now.
Which, talking about powers, Kraven didn't have powers, did he? Like in the movie he does, but in the comics I don't think he did. I think he was just a really good hunter.
He had super strength or something.
He had a witch doctor stuff. Oh, I forgot what I read, but. I believe he had like I don't know if it was a potion or a spell,
which Calypso gave to him.
Yeah,
because Calypso plays a big part in his.
Yeah, Calypso is like
in his character.
Calypso is his origin story.
It exactly. Is. Oh no! Calypso's grandma is.
Oh, dang.
She know nothing.
Not the grandma.
She just saw a cute boy getting mauled by a lion. I'm gonna save his life. He gonna come back to me to watch a tarot card.
And grandma
and never shows up until like 10 years later.
And then all of a sudden she mad.
Took you long enough.
Why didn't you find me? We're supposed to be soulmates.
My grandma said.
My grandma said, if I give a man this, he gonna find me and get married, have some children.
Oh my god!
But no, I think.
Dang.
Yeah, but Calypso's character was weirdly placed.
Calypso's character and the Foreigner are two characters that kind of like, let's put them in. Also, Chameleon to some extent, but Chameleon is his brother, so I can understand why he's in it. Yeah. But the Chameleon at the end of the movie, when he becomes the Chameleon, is like all these characters were just grab all the characters you can. Let's put them in the last movie before that's it.
And I gotta say that Calypso's character and the Foreigner's character were both cool characters, cool enough that we remember them. Way more
than Kraven.
Kraven was the title, so I mean, no, but way more than like who was the guy in the Madam Web? What's that? The guy that killed the mom.
Bro, I don't know her name.
Exactly.
Major points.
Yeah,
we get it. We get it.
I don't know his name. I just know that he was there.
He was there. So, like, these two characters, Calypso and Foreigner, had cool specs. In my head, I'm like, how is Kraven going to win? And technically, he didn't, right?
Who?
Craven's first interaction with the Foreigner, he didn't win.
Oh, no.
And then
he got beat
and then Calypso came after lying to him blatantly. Like, no. Like, babe, that was the last I had. Nah, she had like a freaking like flash.
Oh yeah.
Here's some more of the. Grandma gave me the Kool-Aid. Like it was in the jar of Kool-Aid. Like you know how you people like you have this like juice. Here it is.
That's so funny.
In your protein shake.
Oh wait. I mean, gotta be because dude was like in incredible shape. I was like, did that do that? I was like, he didn't work out that. I was like, he ain't got no like weights or anything like that. He just used the earth.
Yeah. the pointy steak, you know.
Yeah. Grandma had the big. It was had different flavors, pomegranate, mango. I don't know, but yeah, no, I thought that was kind of okay that he was able to come back.
Yeah.
And then what? Oh no! And then what did Foreigner do? He injected him with the fear stuff, right?
No, it was a poisonous dart.
Yeah.
Kind of like how what's that guy's name from Batman? It's the one with the mask.
Oh, Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like that. He injects the poison, and then he starts having fear. Wow. And then he just vanishes and says peekaboo and beats him up. Which I think would have been a good villain for Spider-Man, because Spider-Man could just easily use his Spidey senses and say, "Oh, you're right here." Boom.
Yeah. Do they work when he's afraid?
That's also true.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, would it work if he's in like constant fear and he's feeling like alert from every direction? I don't know. Or can his Spidey sense understand like a hallucination in comparison to reality?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, so many things about this movie. Oh, what were your thoughts about Russell Crowe as Daddy Kraven?
He was kind of boring. He was kind of boring to me. Whenever he was on screen, he was kind of boring because
He was just too generic for me.
yeah, he was very.
I think so.
What did the kids say? Mid, very mid. I'm all like, dude, this is Russell Crowe, but I mean, it's probably whoever wrote his lines, because I'm like, he was very generic. Like you could pinpoint what he was going to say next. You know, it's like, and he wants all his sons to be there, and all of a sudden, I'm like.
So I agree. His character, you could have had him, you could have left him, you could have done whatever with him.
Yeah.
You know, him getting mauled by a bear was pretty cool.
Yeah. I was like,
But you know what's interesting? A lot of people were saying that that Russell Crowe, Daddy Kraven, was more Kraven character than the Kraven played by Aaron. Sorry, not Anthony. Aaron. That if you think of who Kraven is, the dad did a better job of playing
True.
Kraven.
That's
because
true.
that's his personality. Like, I'm here for the hunt.
Yeah.
I'm a strong hunting man who needs to kill my prey.
Russell ain't, gladiator build at the moment.
So I thought that was interesting.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Like, do you think they may come up with a series, a sequel? Because there's a lot of loose ends. You know, like he gets his, the lion's mane, which is actually his attire in Spider-Man, the Spider-Man comics. And then,
that was another thing.
You know what I mean? Like I think, and he remembers what his dad's saying, and so I think I want to say if they make a second one, he would probably take on the characteristics of his dad.
But then that would make him a villain for sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But Sony's allergic to being to villains.
I know.
What they could do is they could make a Spider-Man movie with all of them coming back.
That would be amazing.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool
Morbius, Kraven, Madam
too.
Web.
No Morbius.
No, all of them. They have to come back.
Maybe they turn on the light a little on the freaking.
But what's really cool about these characters that no one knew about, and all of a sudden they're bringing to the forefront, is that in a decade, maybe 2 decades from now, they can actually redo it and revamp it and make it something like how the Avengers was for us.
Just better. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe for our grandchildren.
And I want to be alive.
It's unfortunate. But maybe we could watch it. Maybe we could watch it from up above.
Exactly.
You're right.
It's like, oh, I called it. I told you.
Maybe. So we talked about some of the good things, a lot of the bad things.
There weren't very many good
random characters. There weren't very many, but there was flow to the movie.
I think this would have been. I would have been happier if this was a Sabretooth movie.
You know what? I think it would have been more gruesome if it was too. Adamantium.
Right, that comes from Celestials now.
Yeah. Or maybe there's adamantium, and then there's like adamantium light. Diet
light version.
Yeah. You never know.
The one that's more bendable, breakable, even.
Yeah, exactly.
In the words of Russell Crowe, are you not entertained? Well, for this movie,
you were not.
I wasn't
Were
very.
you referencing Zeus just now?
I was almost. I mean, if I would have just kind of like put this in a grade, I would say that I'd give it like a D, like a D plus. if that's any positive. Like it's like a 69, maybe 68. It wasn't a very good movie, but like it had flow. And I don't remember what I gave Madam Web. Did we go over Madam Web?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what I did.
I wasn't in it, but
and I feel like I gave that one like a C or something like that. But nah, because Dakota Johnson was in it. But no, I gave it a D. I didn't hate the movie.
Which one? Wait.
Kraven.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hate the movie Kraven, but it gets a D. Plus.
Fair.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just give the grade because C minus. I kind of okay. So I take that back. I'm gonna talk about it. He did a good job. He did a good job as Kraven, I believe. But I think they could have expanded more on the other characters because they were pretty good villains. All of them apparently are very very good villains. Rhino could have been better. But they did a complete 180. Instead of injecting him to give him the Rhino powers, he's injecting himself to become more normal.
To get diabetes.
Yeah, he needs the insulin, and and then the Foreigner. I think I would like to see Foreigner go up against Spider-Man because he is one of Spider-Man's foes.
He's a highlight of the movie.
I enjoyed his character. I'm like, oh dang, he's gonna be a problem.
That's exactly what I thought.
But then Calypso
Calypso came in clutch.
Just clipped him.
Yeah.
Clipped him. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I was gonna forget what I was gonna say, but yeah, C minus.
I remember what I was gonna say. Because you were talking about his, that the fur coat thing was his suit or whatever for Spider-Man, and I'm like, that was one of the weirdest scenes where he like puts it on and he like just sits in his little chair. Like I'm like, bro.
Oh, sorry, that was an actual. So when, oh my gosh, how am I gonna explain this? So his pose with his chin just like this.
Yeah.
So that whole pose was all he did in the comic books.
No, I know.
And so he had to end it that way.
No, I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
But like all of the other parts of this movie, it was inserted in the way that was just like, really? That like Calypso, really? Did he really need her? The Foreigner, really? Did he really need him?
Let's just say that all they wanted to do was do that pose with his lion's mane.
And they could have found so many better ways of doing it. But he's like, he found the suit and then he put it on and he just like I'm like, bro, what a weird scene. We're just seeing you just open crotch everywhere, bro. Like this, what a weird position we're in right now.
Why we sit on this really big chair for some reason?
Yeah, it's just
the chair should have been smaller.
But I don't know. That was just super weird to me.
He was trying to fill the space.
He was spreading his law. That's what he was doing.
I think if they went about it a different way, it would have been so much better.
Yeah,
would have been so much better. But the way its place was just weird. I felt like they were just like you said, it's his famous pose.
Yeah.
So they wanted to put it in somewhere. Like, oh, where do we put it? And they put it there.
Put it at the end.
I am in the fields of Mr. Israel over here. I give it a D plus.
Oh dang!
I give it a D plus. Better than Madam Web. Not by much, I would say, but definitely way better than Morbius. I disliked Morbius for so many reasons. I can't remember what I gave Morbius, but I'm assuming I gave it an F because that's what it was. Oh, Morbius was just garbage in comparison. I did enjoy this one a little bit more. I thought, like you were saying, the Foreigner was really good. I'm really upset about Rhino. Really, Rhino to me, I was just like, bro, you could have been so much cooler. But whatever, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It just felt like it was a bunch of different puzzle pieces from different boxes, and they try to force them in together and see if they can make a picture out of it, and they did.
And they called it Last Ride.
Exactly. That's exactly what that happened there. But yeah, D plus is the best I could give it, and that's me being nice.
That's the same as me, dude. I can't give it any higher than that. Well, anyway, that's going to wrap up this episode. Follow us on IG, Facebook, X, and TikTok. You can catch all of our video content here on YouTube. Please leave a review as it will help this podcast grow. And don't forget to join our community on Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us. And don't forget,